Welcome to all in today's lecture of Web Designing Fundamental, course code BCA 302. I am Gulbir Singh, Assistant Professor, MMICT and BM, deemed to University. So, let us see today's content, what we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So, today we are going to discuss the movement of images within a HTML page, followed by insertion of an image within a HTML page or HTML content. Within it we are going to discuss that how can we add an image, what are the syntaxes for adding an image, and what different type of images which are supported by HTML. Next, we are going to discuss the different text formatting which are available within the HTML. So, let us start the today's lecture. So, we are going to discuss today that types of images which are supported in HTML. So, there are basically 4 types of images which are supported by HTML, and here are these. So, first one format of images is GIF. So, what are GIF images? So, graphical interchange format. So, these images are basically graphical interchange format, and these are supported within the HTML. Next one group of images is the JPG or JPEG, means Joint Photographic Expert Group. It is the full form of JPEG, and these type of images are also supported within HTML. Next one is the PNG, Portable Network Graphics. So, these type of images are also supported within HTML. And last one is the BMP images. So, BMP basically are bitmap format of the images. So, these 4 type of images are supported within the HTML, and we can add these images within our HTML page, and we can show the content in the form of images in our HTML page. So, let us discuss these 4 type of images in detail. So, first one is the GIF, or we can say graphic interchange format. So, it is a file type for vector graphics, simple images created like cartoons that can contain up to 256 colors. So, it means that the GIF type of images are basically vector graphics, means we can say simple images or we can say cartoon images, and these contain a color range up to 0 to 256 color. They are usually used for bullets, buttons, accents and fancy line, and images featuring text when saved as GIF file, right. So, next are the GIF images may be have transparent areas, and also they do not have the background color and background images within it. So, GIF images are basically transparent from the background, only the content which you want to display are in the color format, or the entire background would be empty. So, what are the usage of these images? So, these images can be used to create bullets, or we can say buttons, accent and fancy lines. So, these are the usage of GIF images. Next one is the JPG or JPEG format. So, it stands for Joint Photographic Expert Group, and these are commonly used photo realistic pictures containing thousands and millions of colors. So, these are the extended version of we can say first one, and which contains 0 to 256 color. Now, these images JPEG are most popular and commonly used images. So, these are used to show the realistic pictures, realistic images which we can take from our camera, mobile phone camera and anything other devices, and these contains thousands and millions of colors. JPG pictures are useful because they we can control the file size and alternating the compression. So, we can do the reduce or increase the file size of those images according to our need, and image compression are allowed in those images in JPG images. Next are the PNG images. So, portable network graphics. So, PNG is a new format used as an alternative to GIF that support transparency for pictures containing thousands and millions of colors. So, PNG images are similar to GIF, but there is one difference between those. First one, the main and major difference is that there is a range of color in GIF is from 0 to 256, but in PNG it is advanced version of GIF which contains thousands and millions of color within it. So where we can use PNG images? So basically in the logo of a website, logo of a company, basically in the logo creation, these images are used. So some older browser cannot display directly the PNG images, so we need to install a plugin for that, and all the updated and latest version of browser directly support the PNG images. So last one is the BMP or bitmap images. So BMP can be used, but they are not recommended because it is a bitmap format of the images, and right now our browser, or we cannot recommend BMP images to be used because there are some compatibility issues within it. Because they are much larger in size, because they are larger than the JPG and GIF format, so they are unable to compress. So we cannot reduce the size of these images, BMP images. That's why it will take longer to upload and download these images, and it is very hard to, we can say, upload and download and compress these images. So that's why it is not recommended to use the BMP images due to their larger size and due to the incompatibility for compressing these images. So now next topic is the inserting or insertion of images in the HTML. So how can we add images within HTML? So for that we are having some tags. You already know that HTML support different type of tags, and for inserting images we are having the IMG tag. So IMG tag is used to embed an image within a web page or within HTML page. So images are not technically inserted into web page, images are linked with the web page. So basically we cannot directly add the images within a page, we need to provide the link or source location of those images within the image tag. So we actually, where we can then save those images. So those images must be saved within a folder of that website or that we can say HTML page. So we can create a IMG or image folder, and we can put the images which we are interested to add in a website in that folder, and now within IMG tag we need to provide the source location of those images, right. So basically and initially the image tags is empty, it contains attributes only and does not have any closing tag. So it means that image tag is the tag which does not contain any closing tag. Then we can say that image tag is a, we can say, single or singular tag, not a pair tag, because all the pair tag have closing tag within it. So now what are the two basically attribute which are available within a image tag? So these are SRC, which is named as specify the path of the image, or we can say source location, where we have put our image in our computer or in our folder. So we need to provide the source location of that image. And next one is the ALT, it is the alternative text for the image. So why actually ALT is used? Suppose any instant of time when we are loaded our website, we visited that website, what will happen? Due to internet connectivity, that image is unable to load. So at that time the alternative text come in existence, and they will provide the related text to the images. Like suppose we have put a image of a flower, we can say rose flower over the website, and what, due to some network issue or some image compatibility issue, that image is unable to load. So for that time the alternative text is shown there, or will be showed, which tell you that actually what is that image of, what is the image. So we can say the text will be, when you move to that image or move your cursor or mouse to that image, so it will show you the alternative text that this is a image of a rose, right. So that's why, for this reason, the alternative text is used. So now let's see the syntax or the tags, how the tags is declared, or what is the syntax of IMG tag. So you can see over your screen that IMG tag or image tag will start with the word IMG, and it will have the two attributes. First one is the SRC. You can see over here that SRC have the URL. So we need to provide the path of the image here. Like Suppose we are having the image of flower and the name of that file is flower.jpg. So, we need to provide here flower.jpg, right. Next one is the alternative text. So, we need to write here what actually type of image, it means that it is a type, it is a flower image, it is any other image. So, we need to provide the detail of the image. So, now let us see an example how actually we can add an image to our HTML content. So, you can see here there is example is given. We will start our code from the starting that doc type HTML, and we will start the HTML tag, and within a body you already we have discussed that when we where we can write the code. So, code would be written within the body tag. So, you can see here within body tag we have added our image tag here, image tag. You can see here src img, and we have the name of that image, and there we have provided the alternative text flower of that flower name. Next one is we can provide the width and height of that image. So, we can write 460 pixels and we can say 345 pixels is the 460 is the width and height would be 345 pixels. Now, we will discuss. So, from this example we can understand how can we add an image. So, this is the code for adding an image. So, you can replace the source location and you can provide here the different source location of different file, and you can change the alternative text also. So, by replacing these two things you can add any image, or by suppose you need to configure the width and height of the image. So, you can change this also. So, by changing this you can finally run this code over the browser. So, you can find the image over the web page. So, how we can run the code? So, we will discuss these things in the lab practicals, where we are going to see some live practicals, how can we start a first initial HTML program, how it can be saved. So, these all things will be discussed in the practical. So, next topic is the HTML text formatting. So, within it we are going to discuss what are the different tags, what are the different techniques available to format our text within the HTML page. So, HTML contains several elements for defining text within a special meaning. Example. So, let us see first example, then we are going to see all the formatting tags which are available within the HTML. So, you can see here a typical example. You can see in the example that you are having a HTML tag and a body tag, and you are having a p tag. So, last class we have discussed why we use a p tag. So, p tag is basically used to write a paragraph within a web page, HTML page. So, when I am referring web page, so directly it will refer to an HTML page, because we are right now designing the page within the HTML language. So, you can see here within the body tag we have written some codes. So, paragraph tag, you can see first tag is the p tag and second tag is the b tag. So, p tag is used to for write paragraph and b tag is to write the paragraph or that content within the bold format. So, you can see here within these tag written this text is bold. Now, these tags are pair tag, then we need to close these both of the tag. So, we have closed it. You can see a slash sign before the tag name, you can see slash b. So, the last tag we have used, so we need to close it first. Suppose the paragraph tag we have used first, then it would be closed last, and the b tag is used last, then it would be closed first. You can see in the example that firstly we have closed the b tag followed by the p tag. Now, in the next line we have also having another paragraph, and for writing paragraph we have used p tag, and you can see there is a tag with the name I. So, I is used to write the paragraph within the italic. So, you can see this text is italic. So, as we have used the I tag secondly, or we can say lastly, so it will be closed firstly or first followed by the previous tag. Now, there are also multiple tags are available like p tag, and you can see another tag is sub tag. So, sub tag is used to write subscript. So, we will see the example in the upcoming slides that why sub tag is used, why sub tag is used, sub or sup, what is the major differences between it. So, this is the entire example for formatting a text. Now, let us see actually what is the output. So, you can see in the first paragraph we are writing the paragraph or the line within the bold tag. So, you can see in the result first line is bold. Next you can see in the second line the text is, we have used the I tag. So, it means that this text is italic. So, you can see second line of output is italic. Now, in the third one we have used subscript and superscript. So, subscript is used to write the bottom of that word, or we can say keyword, like we have write S2O. So, 2 in the base of that H. Similarly, here subscript would be bottom and superscript in the top, like we can say H square. So, we want to write H square, then we need to use superscript. Suppose we need to write S2O, so then we need to write subscript. So, we will see these in detail in upcoming slide. So, there is no need to worry. So, this is the actual output of this code. Now, you can see there are multiple tags which are provided by HTML for text formatting. So, first one is the B tag. So, B tag is used to bold the text. Next one is strong. So, is the important tag. Suppose you want to show some important things within the paragraph. So, for showing important thing we can use the strong tag. Next one is the I tag, which is the italic tag. Suppose anything, any word or any line we want to write in italic, then we need to use this I tag. Next one is the EM tag, which is stand for emphasized text. Next one is the mark tag. So, something we need to mark within a paragraph, for that purpose we will use the mark tag. Next one is the small tag. So, we need to write some paragraph, some words within a paragraph in small characters, or we can say small font, then the small tag is used. Next one is the del. So, for deleting some text within a paragraph we can use the del tag. Next one is the INS. So, INS stands for inserting text. We need to insert some text within a paragraph or a line, then we will use the INS tag. Next one is the sub tag. So, sub tag is used for subscript. It means we need to write like S2O. So, 2 in the base of H, for these type of writing we need to use sub tag. And last one is the sub. It is the superscript tag. So, write in the power like H square, X square, Y square, Z square. For this purpose we can use sub tag, and it is known as superscript tag. Now, let us see these all tag one by one in detail with example, suitable example and the output. So, let us begin. So, first tag we have picked the two tags. First one is the B and strong. So, the B tag or B element define the bold text without any extra importance. It means that when we use B tag, so the content would be bold, but there is no extra importance to that. So, how can we write a B tag? So, you can see a typical example given over your screen, that we have declared an HTML page with the tag HTML, then followed by the body, then we have write a paragraph by using a P tag. So, this text is normal, this is the normal paragraph. Now, we need to write a bold tag, or we need to write some bold paragraph. So, for that firstly we need to write a paragraph. So, for writing paragraph we have used the P tag followed by B tag. Why B? Because we want that paragraph should be bold. So, for bolding that paragraph we need to use the bold tag. So, now let us see what actually is the output. So, this is the output. So, first paragraph or first line is the normal tag, means nothing special in it, and second one is this text is bold. So, by using B tag the text become bold. So, in upcoming lab practicals we are going to see live examples of these tags also, how can we write the code. So, code are already I am describing you, but how to run this code within a browser, within a HTML page, we will see these practical in our practical classes. So, next tag is the strong tag. So, strong tag element define text with strong importance. So, this will provide basically basically a paragraph or a line in bold, but it will provide the importance to it, means directly you can find the importance or your cursor directly move to that text. So, for that we have initialized a HTML tag followed by the body tag, and there is a paragraph and for declaring paragraph we have used p tag. So, this is normal text we have written here. Next one is the another paragraph p tag followed by strong tag. So, this text is important. So, for making the text important we need to use the strong tag. So, next tags are I and EM elements, or we can say EM tags. So, the HTML I element define a part of the text in an alternate voice or mood. It means that the content inside typically displayed in italic. So, to change the look and feel of the text or to make the text italic or different format, we can use I tag. So, you can see the example here. So, similarly as all the HTML pages started, we started with doc type HTML followed by HTML tag, then the body tag, and then there is a normal paragraph which is written over the which is written between the p tags followed by the paragraph tag, and there is a I tag. So, I tag is used to make the paragraph or line italic. So, let us see the output. So, this is the output, that first one is the normal and second text is the italic. So, for making any text italic we can use the I tags. Next one is the EM tag. So, EM tags or elements define emphasized text, the content inside it typically displayed in italic. So, same example here, HTML followed by body, then the normal paragraph, and there is EM tag which is emphasize the text and it will be look in italic. So, next one is the small tag. So, HTML is small element define smaller text, like smaller in the size. So, normal tag have the, we can say that tag element size, or we can say the paragraph size is 24 times New Roman. Suppose that within that paragraph we want to write some small text, same paragraph we want to reduce the size, then we need to use this small tag. How it can be used? Basically these all types of text must be used within a paragraph, because we are writing paragraph or line. So, firstly we need to initialize a paragraph, and within that paragraph we need to use these tag. So, you can see in the example we have added the HTML tag, body tag followed by a simple paragraph. There is some normal text, this is the paragraph, and there is a second paragraph which would be written in small size, like you can see here paragraph tag followed by small tag. This is the smaller text, then we have closed the last one. So, last would be the small tag and then the paragraph tag, then we have closed the body tag and HTML tags also. So, now let us see what is the output of this code, how the paragraph or text will look like while we have used the small tag. So, you can see the first one is the normal tag, or we can say normal text, second one is the smaller tag. You can differentiate between the size of these two, because first one is the normal size, or we can say normal font, second one is the by default smaller size, right. So, this is the actual output of above code. Now, next tag is the mark tag. So, HTML mark element or tags define text that should be marked or highlighted. Suppose we want to highlight some portion or some words within a paragraph. Suppose in the hard copy we are having a printout and we want to highlight some content, then we need to use highlighter. So, similarly in the HTML pages we want to highlight something, for that purpose we need to use the mark tag. So, how to use mark tag? So, I already told you these tag must be used within a paragraph tag. So, you can see in the example HTML tag, body tag followed by a paragraph. So, do not forget to buy, this is the normal paragraph. Then we have used a mark tag, and between mark tag we have written milk and we have closed that mark tag. After that today. So, this is the full paragraph, which is do not forget to buy milk today, and we want to highlight milk specifically in this line, or we want to highlight the milk word in that line. So, we need to put that milk word or any other word within a paragraph or sentence which we want to highlight within the mark tag. So, mark tag is basically a pair tag, and pair tag have the property that if they are started, then they need to be closed. So, you can see in the example we have started the mark tag before the milk word, and after the milk word we have closed the mark tag, and after that today, and we have closed the paragraph tag. So, now let us see the output actually. So, here is the output. So, here is the full sentence, do not forget to buy milk today, but we have put that milk word within the mark tag, that is why you can see it is highlighted in yellow color. And suppose we want to highlight the whole paragraph, then we need to put the whole paragraph within the mark tag. So, next one is the del tag. So, del tag defines text that has been deleted from a document. Browser will usually strike a line through deleted text. So, now let us see an example how can we declare or how can we use del tag within HTML page. So, HTML followed by body tag, then the p tag, and we are having here a sentence or paragraph, my favorite color is blue, and then red. So, we want to delete the color blue from this line, like my favorite color is red. We want to make this sentence in such a way that the blue color will deleted. So, what actually the full sentence? Sentence is the my favorite color is blue, red. We want to delete the blue color, a blue word. Then we need to put that blue word within the del tag, and del tag is a pair tag, then it will be initialized and closed also. So, you can see in the example we have started the del tag before the blue keyword, and after that we have closed it. So, now let us see how the output will look like. So, here is the output, my favorite color is, you can see the blue word is cut, we can say cut by a single line. So, it means that we have deleted that word from this line, and you can see here my favorite color is blue is cut off, and after that we are having the word red. So, this is actually the deleting from the HTML page. Actually that word is not permanently deleted, it will be cut out. So, in this way we can cut out any word from a paragraph. Now, next tag is the INS. So, INS stands for inserting any word or line within a paragraph. Similarly, as we have used the del tag, it also be used, it is also a pair tag, it means that it would be initialized and it would be closed. If it would be started and it need to be closed. So, how can we close the tag? Just we need to put a slash sign before the tag name, like del is the tag and slash del is the closing tag of it. So, you can see here my favorite color is blue, which is put in the del, and INS is the inserting. So, we are inserting the red color within it. So, we can see the example. So, the inserted word would be written underline in the HTML, and deleted word would be written cut by single line. You can see here we have deleted the blue word and we have added the red word. So, the blue word is cut, you can see cut by a single line, and red word is the added, then it will be followed by base line, it is a underline. So, it means that blue color we have deleted and red word we have added. So, in this way the output will look like. Next one is the subscript tag, and it would be used like sub. The word keyword sub is used to, or the element sub is used to define the subscript tag, or basically we can say in the base. Suppose we want to write something in the base of any word, like we want to write S2O. So, within the H, 2 is the base, or we can say subscript is 2. So, how can we write subscript within the HTML? So, for writing subscript we are having the tag or element which is known as sub. So, you can see directly in the example we are having a paragraph, because HTML body is common to all of the web pages. So, we are directly focused on the main code which started from paragraph within the body. So, you can see in the paragraph tag, this is subscript tag. So, we are basically adding subscript to the base of is, because you can see this is the normal tag, normal text, and you can see in the subscripted word we have used before it the sub tag and we have closed it. So, it means that the subscripted would be added in the base of is, right. So, let us see an example. So, you can see the example that the subscripted would be added within the base of is. So, this is the way, or this is the code, or this is the syntax we can use to write the subscript tags. So, we can write S2O also. How? So, we need to initialize a paragraph, and we need to write H, and we need to initialize the sub, and we need to write 2 within it, and we need to close that sub. It means that 2 would be become base of H, and there, and after closing that sub tag we will write O. It means it will show S2O. So, this example we will see in the practical also. So, there is no need to worry, we will go in detail with each and every tag in the lab practicals. So, now there is a last tag which is used to format the text within the HTML, which is known as sup. We can say subscript, we can superscript. For writing superscript text, we need to write, we need to use the element or tag which is known as sup. So, this is used to write like x square, y square, a square, b square, means anything which would be in the power in the top of that text. So, for that similarly, like subscript we can write superscript, and here you can see in the example, directly go to the body tag, you can see we have initialized a paragraph. So, this is superscript text. So, the word superscript would be put under the sup, or we can say sub tags, and it would be closed. Now, let us see the example. So, you can see the superscript would be made in the top or in the power of is. You can see in the example that this is superscript and superscript in the top of the is, and it is the superscript tag. So, in this way we can use, by following or by using these syntaxes, we can use superscript and all the other formatting tags we have used within the HTML. So, these are the major and most important tags which are used for formatting text within the HTML. So, now these are the references from the books, different books which are available offline or online for your reference. I have also used these references for creation or for preparation of this PPT. Thanks for joining today's lecture. Thank you.